Om Namo Narayana. Today we will study about how the Saturn's transit in your chart affects various areas of your life. So Saturn is always there in one or the other house in your chart. And you must have heard about Sadasati or Shani Ki Dhaiya and Kantak Shani. So placement of Saturn in all these places, how does it affect your Kundali? Because Saturn remains in one Rashi for 2.5 years. And in these 2.5 years, it is not that every time you get frustrated or you get affected or you get punished in just one area of the life. It may so happen that for a certain period of time, you are being affected in one particular area, but then the focus shifts because, as we all know, Saturn in one house, it affects several other houses. It has drishti on the third house, it has drishti on the 10th house, and it has drishti on the seventh house. And it is there in the first house. So these four houses are anyway affected. But today I'm going to share with you a very typical technique with which you can find out exactly which house is going to be the most affected. And based on this technique, you can make predictions monthly because this technique not only uses the Rashi chart, it also uses the Navamsa chart. The Navamsa chart is basically the 9 divisions of a Rashi chart, and Saturn remains in one Navamsa for almost 1 month or 1.5 month. So for that much period of time, you can study that which area is exactly going to be affected so that you can pinpoint your predictions. So it is strictly based on the transit technique of Saturn. So let's begin the study. So let's look at the Saturn's position right now. So Saturn is right now in Aquarius. Okay, so Saturn in Aquarius. Oh, here is the Saturn. Okay. Now, Saturn being over here, we all know that Saturn aspects the third house, seventh house, and the 10th house. So, who all are affected? This one, seventh is Leo, this one, and 10th is Vrishchik, Scorpio, this one. And the first one is anyway affected. Now, the logic of this is that if Saturn is afflicting a particular house, then exactly who is going to be punished? The house from which it is eighth. Okay, let me repeat. So, Saturn, if Saturn is there in the first house, it is going to affect the longevity of the 10th house. Why? Because it it is going to affect the longevity of the sixth house because it is eighth from the sixth house. So in this chart, you see when Saturn is there in Aquarius, it is actually going to affect the this sign, okay, this Cancer sign. This is going to be affected. Why? Because from Cancer, it is there in the eighth house. And what it is doing in the eighth house, since it is destroying this house, it is destroying the longevity of Cancer because eighth house is the longevity. So whatever Cancer represents in your chart, that longevity is going to be destroyed when Saturn is there in Aquarius. Okay, so one sign which is affected is Saturn, is Cancer. Okay, now coming to the next one. So Saturn is aspecting third house. It is destroying this Aries sign. But from which sign is Aries eighth? So if we count, then it is the Virgo sign. From Virgo sign, if you count eight signs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Aries comes eight. So what it is doing? Saturn's aspect on the third house, Saturn's aspect on Aries actually destroys Virgo. So whatever Virgo represents in your chart is going to be destroyed. So first, who is affected? Cancer. Second, who is affected? Virgo. Now let's look at the other aspect of Saturn. So Saturn also aspects the seventh house, and seventh house here is in Leo, and Leo is actually in the eighth house from Capricorn. So Capricorn is going to be destroyed. Okay. So from Capricorn, if you count, Leo comes as the eighth house. So when Saturn aspects Leo, it destroys this Leo, then it is actually affecting the longevity of Capricorn. So whatever Capricorn represents, its longevity will be affected. You will get frustrated about it. Now, the last thing is that Saturn is aspecting the 10th house of Vrishchik also. And Vrishchik is 8th from Aries. Vrishchik is 8th from Aries. So Aries is going to be destroyed. Okay. So what is the dictum? So dictum, as you see, even though Saturn is aspecting the third house, seventh house, and 10th house, but what houses are getting destroyed, the houses which are getting destroyed is actually, you see, Aries is destroyed, so third house is destroyed from Saturn. Cancer is destroyed, so sixth house is destroyed from Saturn. Virgo is destroyed, so eighth house is destroyed, and the 12th house is destroyed. Okay, so all the Dusthanas and the third house, they are destroyed. So wherever Saturn is, you have to look at the third house, you have to look at the sixth house from it, eighth house from it, and the 12th house from it. And these houses in your chart will be destroyed. Now you will say, again, this is too much because suppose your Saturn, suppose you are the Aries Lagna. So for Aries Lagna person, when Saturn is there in Aquarius, it is destroying Aries. That means the Lagna, the body is destroyed. Cancer, fourth house is destroyed. Virgo, sixth house is destroyed. Capricorn, 10th house is destroyed. So practically everything is destroyed from him. These four houses, they are like pivot of for him. 1, 4, 10, 6 is okay. So now you see, you can exactly point out which of these houses is going to be the focus for Saturn, like where the focus is going to lie. So that focus you can find out with this addition of technique. So what is the additional technique? The additional technique is you have to look at the Navamsa of Saturn. Okay, where in the Kundali Saturn is there in the Navamsa, in the D9 chart. Okay, so you will see that today is 29th January, but prior to 29th January, around 25th, Saturn changed the Navamsa from Aries to Taurus. Okay, so Saturn, even though in D1 chart, Saturn was in Aquarius, but in D9, Saturn was in Aries. Okay, so now we have to, I'm trying to superimpose both the charts over here. So, now this one makes more sense. So what I'm going to do is, this is the D1 chart. Okay. Let me select the pen. Okay. So this is the D1 chart and this is the D9 chart. So Saturn is in Aquarius in D1 chart and Saturn is in Aries in D9 chart. Okay. So let me recap. In the Rashi chart, wherever Saturn is, it is going to destroy the third, sixth, eighth, and 12th houses. Okay. So you see, the third house is Aries, destroyed. Sixth house is Cancer, destroyed. Eighth house is Virgo, destroyed. 12th house is Capricorn, destroyed. Okay. So these four houses are destroyed. Now, our aim is to find out exactly in this month which house will will bear the brunt maximum, will be destroyed maximum. So for that, we have to see where Saturn is located in the Navamsa. Okay, you can use Jehora, you can use any other software online also to find out in which Rashi is Saturn. Okay, now in when as you have located that, okay, Saturn is there in Aries. Aries is the Agni sign. So Aries is Agni, and the rule for nomads is that you have to look at the trines. So Saturn is there in Aries, so it is going to affect which all signs? All the Agni signs. Okay. So which is the next Agni sign? Leo. Which is the next Agni sign? Sagittarius. Okay. So all these houses, okay, these three houses, they will be affected. Okay. So in Namanj, Saturn Aries is affected, Leo is affected, and Sagittarius is affected. Okay. Now what we have to do, we have to arrive at the intersection. So from the D9 chart, we see that Aries is affected, Leo is affected, Sagittarius is affected. And from D1 chart, we can see that Aries is affected, Cancer is affected, Virgo is affected, and Capricorn is affected. Now look at the intersection. Okay, look at which sign is there in both of them. So obviously you see Aries is there in both of them. So Aries is the sign which is going to bear the brunt maximum. For this duration, when Saturn is there in Aries, Navamsa, which is going to be around 1 month, for this 1 month, you will see that Aries will will bear the maximum brunt. So for whosoever, like for Aries Lagna person, Aries is going to be the first house, so bodily discomfort will be there. He'll get some disease, or bodily ache will be there. For the person who is in Taurus, this is the 12th house. So 12th house, that means he'll have a lot of expenditures. There will be delay in investments, and there could be hospitalization also. So all those things will be there. For Gemini person, this is the 11th house. So he'll have delay in income for that 1 month. For Cancer person, this is 10th house. So there could be some problem with his image in the world, his his respect at the workplace, or his workplace itself might get affected. Promotion may get delayed. For Leo person, this is the ninth house, so something to do with father, something to do with guru or temples and religious places. So he may feel overall bad luck during this time. So likewise, you can make predictions. Okay, so for Libra person, this is the seventh house, so you can see that seventh is destroyed. That means there will be problem with the wife. Either there will be fight with the wife, or wife some disease or some discomfort to wife, or your business partners, because seventh is business partners also. Okay, so you see, till 25th or something, Aries was having Saturn. Like Saturn was there in Nomansh of Aries. Now Saturn has shifted to Taurus. As soon as Saturn shifts to Taurus, then let's see what all the areas that get affected. So let me erase uh, Saturn from Aries and analyze it further. Okay. So if we move Saturn back to Taurus, if we move Saturn to Taurus, okay. So this is where Saturn is going to be for next 1 month. So how the punishment is going to shift, that we have to see. So from Taurus, which are the trine signs? So Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. These are the trine signs. Okay. These are earthy signs. So this is going to be affected, Taurus and Virgo and Capricorn. Okay. And Capricorn. Okay. So let me erase these also. Yeah. So Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. This will remain unchanged because Saturn is still there in Aquarius. So now we have to make the intersection of these two. Now you see, in this one, there are actually two signs which are getting affected, Virgo and Capricorn. Virgo and Capricorn. Okay. So this is typical. Now you have to look at these two signs from this perspective. You'll have to see. So let's say for Libra person. For Libra person, earlier Saturn was affecting Aries, that is his wife, his business partner, his business was getting affected. But now the brunt has gone to Capricorn and Virgo, which is fourth in the 12th house. So fourth means what? Mother. So either mother's health will be affected. 12th house, his investment may get delayed, his expenses may reduce, his he may get hospitalized. Fourth house, something to do with vehicles also. So some problem in the vehicle, or something that affects his sukh bhava, his sense of comfort. So this is how the focus has shifted from wife to this. And likewise, when Saturn moves to Gemini, something else will happen. So using this technique, you can exactly pinpoint where the punishment of Saturn is going to be there for this 1 month. Okay. So I hope you liked it. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. Namo Narayana.